So basically, I'm starting a new batch of CCI Security version 6.1 from this weekend. And Cisco ISE is one of the module of it, right? And it's the most demanded skill set these days. So if someone wants to take up the entire CCI security, you can take this. It's a 6 month of course. Or if you want to stick with only Cisco ISE, then you can stick with only the Cisco ISE portion, which would be a two month of program. The choice is yours. You have both CCI security version 6.1 plus you have Cisco ISE. Or if in case you want to take up S-Core or SVPN or a ASA FTD, you can even go with that that one. Okay. So in a short form, regards to the timing and all those things, this is going to be weekend program. That means it's a Sunday. So I'm going to plan it in such a way that Saturday, Sunday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. India, we take Cisco I, and then from on the same day, that is 9 to 11 p.m. IST once again, we have the CCI security boot camp taken. Because I have some participants from my previous batch who are looking for CCI bootcamp where I'm going to have them all a hands-on experience on the technology. So this would be advanced batch. Those who are enrolling for a CCI security, I would be not directly adding you to the bootcamp because it may not go well with you, right? So I will start these four paper, ASA FTD, Cisco ISE, and the other modules. Because we have a lot of modules in the CCI security. So basically, this is a module related to the security purpose. All right. So let's see an overview since you people have not joined my previous demo. So let me go through some of the slides first, and then we can quickly discuss from the Cisco ISE. So this is the time flow which I have prepared for this module. So as you can see that we will be starting the core paper first, also the CCI security bootcamp. And also we have Cisco ISE, which we would be starting up, and then followed by them, then we will go with the next module. So the whole CCI security will take 6 months, and any single module will take you like 2 to 2.5 months. So part of the course enrollment, we will provide you the reading material, workbook, and the lab access along with the live class meeting IDs for you. So the one which you see right now is our score lab, which is a mandatory paper for CCI security. So this is a module discussion of CCI security, which you might already be aware, module 1, module 2. Okay, so this is the CCI security hardware. These are few more hardware that is used in the CCI security. So how many of you are CCNA or CCNP enterprise at least? Routing switching basically.
Chat
I
is
think most
disabled.
Yeah, I think most of you are from the CCNP background. So I believe you can relate yourself with the CCI agenda. Or if you don't want to stick, then you can still have a CCNP certification. Okay, because I don't want to sound it look like a very difficult course uh, in the demo session. So when we start with something, it will be usually the first module that we will start here, which is the score paper, a score paper, and the Cisco ISE paper, so that you can easily take it. Okay, we'll jump into Cisco ISE now. We also have our counselor who can give you a brief on the course and the other detail along with the pricing. So you have to wait for the pricing and the discounted pricing and the way to book for this paper uh, till the end of this demo. So let us jump into technical terms. So I have taken up this module because this is something industry standard, and you might have explored it, or you might be interested to explore the technology. Do you know what was it called earlier, 10 years back? What was this technology called? What used to be before Cisco ISE? ClearPass is Cisco technology. Do we call ClearPass? See, prior to Cisco ISE, it used to be called as ACS server. Okay, and it was a Cisco brand itself. The full form of ACS used to be Access Control Server. So what ACS used to do, it used to help you achieve the AAA concept: authentication, accounting, right? Administration. So AAA server. And to some extent, some logs or some basic functionality. But as the things progress, the ACS was found shortage in terms of features. So this went on end of life, EOL. So there comes Cisco ISE. Do anyone know the full form of ISE? Do anyone know the full form of ISE?
Identity Service Engine.
Yes, Identity Service Engine. So we are going to talk about ISE now, Identity Service Engine. So these are the some use cases of Cisco ISE. The one of them is Network Access Control, NAC. So what is Network Access Control? What do you achieve with this? So it ensures that only authorized users and devices can connect to the network, right? So in a production, you need some authorized user only to be connected to the network, not as such any guest users get connected without your consent. Uses .1x authentication for the wireless VPN access. So Cisco ISE is capable of handling wired, wireless, and VPN, which ACS used to lag. ACS was not supported any wireless. You could not have WLC and the wireless or the guest profiles in that. Whereas in Cisco ISE, you can handle wired, wireless, BYOD, guest, and also VPN, and also application. It supports multiple authentication methods. You have the new advanced protocols now. So you have radius server, uh, TAGAS server, which comes under AAA. Then you have EAP, you have MAC authentication bypass. That means the system can get authenticated with the help of their own MAC address. You don't need to have a username and other things. Like, for example, just imagine in the network, you have some dedicated PCs or servers which are fixed to do certain jobs. Could be printer or something. So they are trusted devices, right? So you don't need to go there, put the login to get it work. The MAC address itself can bypass and get authenticated this device so that any users from any corner can send the command to print or to access them. It's called a MAP based authentication. So this is one use case of ICE. The second use case is role based access. So you might be having different type of teams and different type of vendors and different type of application access that you want to give. Someone needs to have the whole access. Someone needs to have only the access to download report. Someone wants to be having access to run only show command, or you want the complete RW access to be run. So how would you do that in a network? Do you think I have hundreds of routers or switches or firewalls? So I go on each one of it and then I say that user Bob, give him a privilege of 10. And then user Tim, give a privilege of 8. Do you think it's possible for me to go into every device and put this config? Whereas in the case of Cisco I'll create certain profile. I'll say he's a part of FI load balancer or Cisco routing switching or from the data center or the service provider. Then I can classify whether he is an administrator or he is an engineer or he is a software architect or solution architect. And accordingly, I can give the privilege to each one of it. Might be one is having all the access. Might be one will only be having the access to read only. One will have the access to the APIs and the other things. So it's a role-based access that you can configure on a single device. Okay. So assigns different level of network access based on AD, LDAP, local database. Device type corporate, personal, IoT, BYOD, security posture, patch, updated, antivirus, installed, etc. Example, IT team will get the full access, guest will get only the internet access, and IoT will have the restricted access. So it's a role-based access. In a single controller, you can define all the access so that you don't have to go respective to each users and deal with it or individual device dealing with whether this is a privilege 15 or 10 or whatever. So on the Cisco ISE itself, you can make the categorization and you can map the users to that. Okay, the next one is something called guest access management. As I was saying that ISE will also help you in terms of wireless, right? So wireless in the sense I have a vendor or a guest who is within the premise and he needs the internet access for certain hours. So what is the way to give him certain? Do you directly add him without anyone's uh, permission, or do you have a guest VLAN with you? And who is monitoring that guest VLAN? Because there is chance that you gave him the access and he start downloading all the files, and the other people are suffering because of, right? But you need to also be aware his machine is not infected by some virus and It don't lead to a problem. So guest access management basically means ICE will provide a secure self-service guest Wi-Fi with temporary credentials. So you can make a way where a guest is connecting to the network. He will be asked to put his number and he gets some OTP to him, or he can request for a temporary or credentials or OTP and he get it on an email ID. So this way you have the information of that guest. You know who is connected to it. Might be his phone number or his email ID. You can also integrate with SMS or email for the OTP base, and also it supports different access where employees approve the guest login. So you can make a way if it's going to a department head, whether he knows about this vendor and whether he wants to approve it or not. So this way you're keeping track of all your guest connectivity. So there is no chances of any virus infections or any sort of data theft in the network. Going to next, BYOD, bring your own device, allows the employee to securely onboard personal device. So you might have seen when you go take your iPad, mobile phone to your office floor, there would be some security checks. So when you use your mobile, might be you put your employee ID and the password, then it goes to the Cisco ISE, quickly get sort of uh, some sort of check, like enter your email ID, official email ID, then it goes back and gets you some Google Duo where you apply the password, and then you have your corporate uh, internet on your mobile phones as well. So this is for your bring your own device like mobile phone, iPads, or your personal laptop. Enforces security policy. So this means you might have certain policy in your network, right? You might have put some security policy, could be dynamic ACLs or could be dynamic VLAN. So as soon as some users are getting connected, they will automatically get downloaded those policies. So you don't have to push it one by one. You can just enforce this policy, and then they will have restriction on what to access and what not to access. And also you can integrate with mobile device management. This is basically to give you more granular control and visibility on what's happening over on the MDM dashboard. Okay, this is basically kind of a solution to see the activeness of the users, the download rate, or if there is any virus infections or anything. So it's a mobile device management, a software solution for especially the BYOD type of gadget. Okay, going to the fifth point, Cisco ISE is also going to help with endpoint compliance. So what do you mean by endpoint compliance? So in a network, you might always know that users, right? What do you mean by users? Users are nothing but your employees. So employees can come up with his office laptop, or let's say his mobile, right? Or you might have some servers which are running on very outdated Windows and someone has downloaded certain files. So this has been red alert now, right? So these are all end devices. So Cisco ISE is also going to quarantine this end devices. So what is quarantine? Quarantine means if there was any virus or any malicious code found, Cisco ISE can directly take an action on that to quarantine or cut down that system itself from the network. So non-compliant devices are quarantined, made neutral, or redirected to a remediation page. So you might have seen in some network when you're trying to connect to the VPN, there happens some posture scanning and some sort of scanning, and it realizes that you are running a very outdated software image or you're running an outdated browser. The VPN don't get connected. It will say that you're not under compliance. You're still using a very outdated image. So it will ask you to update it. So this is all again done via Cisco ISE. So Cisco ISE has a uh, use case of checking the endpoint compliance and the posture assessment. So if you do endpoint compliance and posture assessment, you can also scan through the end device. So this is purely talking from the end devices. So far we discussed about the network device, users, and BYOD wireless. Now we are talking about end device. Again, ACS was beyond its potential. ACS was not able to do all the posture scanning, etc. But the Cisco ISE can do it. Network segmentation and micro segmentation. This is an interesting feature called dynamic VLAN. So see what happens is you might have seen that you might take your laptop and you might be you connect to the cable or you might connect to the Wi-Fi, either one of it. Might be you're having a laptop or a computer, you're connecting to the network, right? What Cisco ISE do is as soon as you put the username, let's say I put my username as Sagar. So as soon as this goes to the backend of ISE, ISE will, if ISE is having a AD integration, Active Directory integration, ISE will come to know that this username belongs to network security team, and under the network security, I have configured something called dynamic VLAN and also something called dynamic ACL. That means this both things will automatically get configured or downloaded at this end, the port which I'm connecting to. The switch port which I'm connecting to will now be having the information of VLAN that my user ID needs to be. So let's say I'm from the network security and for me the VLAN is 150. So that VLAN gets mapped to that interface. And also if I have a DACL, dynamic ACL, where it means that this user from VLAN 50, which server he can access, which he has to be restricted, even that gets downloaded. So that is what it says, enforces dynamic VLAN assignment based on identity and security posture. Identity is nothing but your username. Once you prove your identification that you are from this team, whatever that team needs to access or restriction, they get automatically downloaded. Plus, you move around your floors in your office. Might be first floor today, and you're sitting on 10th floor on the next day. You don't have to sit always on the one desk. You can move on any side, and whenever you connect to the network, ACLs are or the VLANs will get enforced in that particular switch port. So this will make it more flexible in terms of the user management. You can also use Cisco Trust Security Group tag for the micro segmentation. Basically, you are dividing a whole network in such a way that there is no sort of overhead or no sort of data breach in this case. And also, you're having a zero touch architecture, ZTA, by controlling the lateral movement inside the network. So this means if let's say one machine is infected on let's say 21 Feb 2025. So this file is highly chances that it is going on a different machines and it's infecting it. So you can see the movement, which file got replicated on others, and you can either take a quarantine or you can either cut down or cut off that particular from the network. Okay, very important use case. You can also integrate in terms of integration. Cisco ISE has a large number of integration plans. So you can integrate with Cisco ASA FTD. You can have the DNAC integration with Cisco ISE, Stealth Watch, Okay. You can also integrate Palo Alto, FortiGate, F5, Aruba, NAT, all that with Cisco ISE. Centralized SECaaS Plus for network device administration. So it provides the role-based command and tracks the login and the configuration changes on the router, switches, and the firewalls. So whatever you do, the administrative, whatever you do, it's going to figure it out and give you an alert that this user has been logged and he has put this command. As soon as he put this command, it got restarted, or he put this reload command, that's why the reload happened. Okay, so centralized for administration and the reporting part. So in the reporting part, you can check all the records, all the connection, traffic monitor, and a lot of other things you can figure it out. Okay, so there is one lab demonstration which will help you to see the Cisco ISE, which I have kept ready. So in this lab, what we are going to check is we are going to check some configuration related to map. So this is one lab which I randomly took it up to just show so that you will also get to know a bit of the lab workbook and how the labs look like. So basically, what is MAP? MAP is nothing but MAC authentication bypass. So it's a method where the end devices can get authenticated via the MAC address. Otherwise, we also have something called .1x, but some servers or some outdated machines don't support .1x, like IoTs or printers or the VoIP phone, they don't support .1. So we need to have the callback to MAC. So instead of username and password, now MAC address is something responsible. I'm going to show you where the MAC address is whitelisted, or how can you upload some CSV or a Excel file in order to do the bulk MAC whitelisting. Because when we say MAC address, then definitely if I have 50 VMs or 50 servers, I might be doing it bulk, right? I can't go ahead with individual firms. Once I whitelist this 50 MAC address on the Cisco ISE, next time any network connection comes from this MAC address, by seeing the MAC address, it will allow the device, because we have set them as a whitelisting. Okay, so there are steps, I think, in this. Okay, how the map works. Your device connects to the switch, right? So if you think from this way, so let's say this is your switch, which is connected with the Cisco ISE, and ISE is connected with the AD server. And let's say you have your user here. This is your client. So the switch will be sending 1.1x to the device. If the Cisco ISE do not respond to this .1x, then the switch can also send you the map request. Okay, it will send the MAC address as the identity. The switch will say that the MAC address is this. Now the Cisco ISE will check if the MAC address is allowed and granted, or the MAC address is unknown, access is denied, or placed in the guest VLAN. So this possibility can happen. Either the MAC will be allowed or the MAC is unknown, and etc. And if the device is assigned to a VLAN or ACL based on the authentication policy. So this is a part of your DACL and D VLAN. So if you get authenticated as per the policy, whatever we have done here, that apply this, that will get added to that. So that is what Cisco ISE does. Yeah, this let me show you. Uh, I'll just show you the quality of the workbook so you will understand that how this batch is going to be, or how the whole CCI security is going to be. So I'll just take one random topic somewhere. map, right? Let me check. See, I'm taking a random topic. When we start the actual class, we'll go from step by step process. See, this is a map topic, which is lab 20 for us. So my workbook will have very good documentation so that anyone can refer the workbook and do that. So this is, you can see here, some of the nodes are shown up in a forward on state. So we need this. This is my management PC where I'll be taking the GUI of ICE. And these are the PC for the MAC address whitelisted. This is the AD server, Active Directory. This is my Cisco ISE. Okay. The first step here is configuration of switch with needful radius server, because when these PCs are going to get authenticated or they're about to log into get associated with the network, the switch has to send that request to the ICE, and then ICE will send another request to AD asking whether this username is good or not. Okay, one second. Let me share my. I have to stop and share my other screen. So let me do. So do you see my work?
Yes, we can see.
Sorry. So what I was saying here, this is the section where we keep the nodes powered on as per on the lab workbook basis. So participant can easily power on and work on that. So you see here when the devices, the end devices are getting associated with the network over on the switch. The switch is the thing which will be sending up the request to ICE. ICE will be sending up a request to AD server. AD server will confirm, yes, this identity uh, is genuine, and then it sends the .1x to the switch, and the switch will confirm the identity, and they get connected. But in the case of map, since it's not a AD based, the request from the switch will go to Cisco ISE saying that this MAC address is trying to get authenticated. Is it really to be done, or a whitelisted device, or what to do? So Cisco ISE will check its database and say, yeah, this is a whitelisted MAC address, so you allow him. So this guy will get onboarded without any username and etc. So in which case we do this? Let's say I have 100 of machines and I don't want the users to come and type it. Those machines might be kept for a specific reason. Normally, a lot of time, what happens, we have the users based on the username password. But sometimes we want, like, especially printers. Why do someone has to go there and put the username on the printer when the printer can get whitelisted by its MAC address? Right? The identity of the printer should be its MAC address, not its username or something, because it's a machine. Similar way, like your CCTV or WLC or the guest, there are certain scenarios where you don't want someone to type username. Might be its own physical MAC address can act as a identity, right? So we need to whitelist those MAC address in on the ICE surface. So this is my configuration which goes to the switch first. So basically what it does it, I'm making a radius server first. So the IP that you see here is nothing but my Cisco ISE 201. And this is a port number that I'm using here. Then I'm creating the group. I'm defining the .1x network group. I'm defining the accounting. I'm having the interface which is connected to the end devices, gig 3/1 and 3/0. So 3/1 is connected to a non-domain PC. PC in the sense client, and I've enabled the needful services. So you can see that I've enabled map. I have also put a map as a fallback. So my first preference is .1x. But if the .1x fail, then I want the MAC address to be selected. Okay. And similar way on the other interface of that, I have also that is specially for AD manage. So I want to show you example where what happens when a AD managed device is trying to get connected and when a non-AD managed device is trying to get connected. So both the examples are set. Then we go to the Cisco ISE graphical page. We go to the network device. We go to first we have to start monitor the switch on that particular IP address. Okay. So I'll show you this. You will understand. Let me show you the validation part. So you can see that when that MAC address is trying to get onboarded, this is how your Cisco ISE is going to generate the log, saying that this is the endpoint and this is the device that is getting onboarded or trying to get onboarded. Under the context visibility as well, you can see this. Right. So then you have a MAC address and you can save it, saying that this is your test server. So test server do not need to be logged in via username. You might be you want this to be logged in via MAC address and anyone just come and start the test environment. So you can save this in this format. Okay, and you can also see that in the under the live logs, you will find initially when you have not whitelisted this kind of result. That's because you have not whitelisted. And in the PC configuration, I have also shown you what you need to do because this is a test environment, right? So you have to recreate all the steps. You go to PC, change the IP address. Under the authentication, you can use the MAC address. You can see here. So these are the steps. And for the verification, you can just simply try connecting it, and then you will get to know whether it's getting connected or if there is any problem. So if you get connected, the switch itself will show that there is a MAC which is trying to get binded. You can see your map success, whereas .1x is not running, so it's fine. Okay, so the workbook should be in this format. So it's a easy to made format. Anyone can come work on by referring to this. Taking you to the lab, let me also show you the lab, how the labs look like. So this is a emulator based lab. We will also give you or we will help you with setting this up on your home lab if in case you have anything like more than 32 GB, because you can see here from my screen that each Cisco ISE is going to consume minimum 16 GB with 8 CPU. So you can just total count this. There should be at least 32 plus of RAM on your home lab or your personal laptop to run this. Okay. If in case you have this, our backend itself will help you by giving all the files and softwares and setting it up. Now, those guys who do not have, you are gonna get the access from our side, which is valid for 6 months as per the package, and it is ready to use. That means you would be getting some IP address with your own credential. It's a 24-bar access. We don't give a daily limit based like only 4 hours per day or something. It is complete unlimited access for 6 months, and you can practice it n number of times. So that's the benefit that you will get it while you take this course. Yes, everything is going to be received by you. If you're talking about our live classes, if I'm taking up the class, so those classes are going to get recorded. It will be put up in your Learn portal. And in the Learn portal itself, you have a downloadable link to download the workbook and the reading material and all those stuff. And also the link to download this big lab. Okay, now I'll just go quickly. See, this is how the dashboard looks like. If in case you have never seen Cisco ISE, this is how the dashboard looks like. It has been changed now. This is a touch and feel of 3.x version. 2.x ISE version used to have bit different navigation option, but functionality wise, it used to be the same. So you did not worry. Okay. Now to show you quickly the what are what. So you can you see here when I click on the dashboard, it will take me on the home page. So under the home page, we have a option to see like total endpoints. Endpoints are nothing but end devices. That's the is the network and the twice and three times. 50 total endpoints, active endpoints. So this is endpoint section, this is guest section, this is vulnerability, this is threat. Okay, so dashboard is always the key section. As soon as we log in, you basically know how you get work. And on top of that, you have some authentication, you have network device, you have endpoint, you have the BYOD network, you have alarm, shown up, you have system summary, release and all those. Uh, Now to doing some sort of configuration, Cisco ISE 3.x has taken out that navigation part, but you can still switch back to your previous setting if you want to. But the current navigation bar is also very simple. When you click on this button, you will find all the options up here. So you have the context visibility. Under that, you have endpoint, user, network device. Then you have operator. Then you have policy, administration, work center. And within work center, you can still find some more options. Under administration, you can find different options there. System, identity management, network resource, right? And if you also check my lab here, I've tried to match it to the production scenario. So I'm keeping my page server. I'm having two Cisco ISE so that I can see the state area. So right now I have this one. I have a managed one and a non-managed PC for the technical purpose. This is my what do you call it? The management node where I can take the access of these dashboards. That's what I can. And these are all the integration points. So we try to integrate Salo also on Hive or particular on Hive or PCC or the routers or the WLC or the ASAC. This is all from the integration perspective to show that Hive can be integrated with these. You can see the version 3.0.0 code navigation. Let's check one by one. Context visibility. You can see there, these are some articles that I write. If I just click on there, you get a profile. I created this as a marketplace internal, and I see by treatment. Otherwise, you will see that's it. I click on the add more things. Under the operation, under the log, you can find all the errors that will be happening. If there is any failures or if there is any issues, you will be able to find it. And the live session, if you are troubleshooting and you want to know whether you are getting the hit or if there is any decline message, then you have to come to operation and see here. Under policy, you can add the policy set, posture, policy element, profiling, and plan. You can see that I've also done some policy building to allow or to uh, deny some users. These are all the different policies that will be under administration. We do add our AD server. So AD server, if you check here under let's say external identity sources under AD. So you can see you can add n number of AD servers. So I added one AD server. Why we need AD server behind ICE? Because all my users, I'll be adding it in AD. Have you seen the AD, Renita? Let me show you the AD. Because user management is very simple in the AD server. Though you can create in the ICE, but AD will be more wider. You can use AD for printers, network devices, and Outlook, and many more things. So almost in every production, the users are created on the AD servers, and then we add Cisco ISE kind of integration so that all that role based and all that gets authenticated via. So here, if you see under the over here, you will see that this is where you will add your team and the team number. So let's say if you had a team called finance, marketing, sales, and within those teams, you had employees called finance one, marketing one, and sales. So these are users. It is very easy for the network administrator to come over here and just delete that profile on his last working day. You don't have to go to each device, or he may not have access to Cisco ISE. So that's why we take all the user management on the AD servers because it's very simple. If I just go and delete him here or change his password, then the user can't re-log in until the administrator has to uplift his back. So it's very easy for user management purpose, the AD server. And I'm using 2012 in the lab. It's all okay. Any AD server until you know that it's going to serve the purpose, you can use it here. So I'm using AD server. I'll show all the steps because this is going to have a lot of config, DNS, NAT, DHCP, then AD server, CA server, because this is also going to be my self-signed certificate where I'll be generating, and this would be the like a root for me. Okay, so a lot of things we will do on the CA server. And then the CA server has to be integrated. So that is what I was showing here, the integration part. So that AD server, with whatever we did, we have integrated here. Okay, so if you just expand that, so this is where the AD comes. It says that it's operational. You can also do the testing directly from here, just to see, make sure that users who are trying to access to the network device, are they really getting in, or they're getting some sort of credential issue. So there's an option called test user. You select this and click test user. Okay. Now you can add the username, password, and test it. If your credentials and the usernames are good, you get the message called password. Then you can confirm your user that I've checked from the Cisco ISE, your credentials are working. You try one more time from your. Okay, so that's the way that you can deal with. You can have as many as AD, because might be a different teams are having a different AD, Active Directory. So it's the same process. You click on add and put the AD name and the domain, and then click on submit, follow the on screen, and you can keep onboarding multiple AD servers. Okay, then there is some identity source sequence. So identity source sequence in the sense, like while you are creating policy to and from, and in case you want to kind of mention which all which all groups to get authenticated. So all your endpoint, all your internal user, all your guest user, all that AD server users, and all that joint. All this to get authenticated via Cisco ISE. So you can write that policy. So for that, I created this sequence. Apart from that, these are the section where you will add your network devices, because network device has to get why ISE is needed, because let's say I have a user and a user is typing his username and password on the device to get authenticated. So device has to send that request to ISE, and the ISE will send that request to AD to verify if this user is a genuine user. Then AD will confirm yes. Then ISE will confirm yes, this is right. And then this guy will network device will send the acceptance message. And in the meanwhile, all that policy like DHCL, DVLAN will get applied for this user. If there was any VLAN that this needs to belong, or if there was any restriction in terms of ACL, everything will get downloaded. Okay, so if you want to see the way it's written, this is how we add the device. We add the IP address, management IP address. We add the radius of the TCAS activation. If in case you go with TCAS or SNMP, so this is this thing. This is related to BYOD and other things. Work center is for again the configuration management. So you can do all the posture configuration and BYOD, guest access, and the login form for BYOD. All those things you can do it from the work center side. Okay. So this was a brief, and once you are part of the batch, I'll just show you how the labs are work. So you would be receiving this workbook, right? In the class, we will discuss about the use case. We do that on the live class. We validate, and then you need to do it from your end side. So whenever you're free, you can pin up the access lab and follow the workbook. As per the workbook, this is the first step where you will take this and put it on this device, this switch, this switch, okay, with the dot one next now. Then you will follow step-by-step process. So if you have this step-by-step process, then it's very easy to follow this and work upon. You are creating the policy. Mhm. Then you're creating the policy set, you're creating the you're fetching the log message for the denial. Then under the context that you are able to see that MAC address, right? Then we can also okay, this is on the end devices that you need to do. Okay, so it's going to be step by step, so it makes it more easier to be followed. All right, I think from the coverage perspective, this should be good enough. But quickly, I'll also show you the whole module once. So as I was telling, this is a CCI security training, which is 6 months, which covers eyes, if in case you're taking up eyes, or if you want to take standalone, you can take standalone as well, because this is something which network routing, switching, and the security engineers must know because it's used widely in both the domain. You can also see the workflow. This is SCORE, SVPN, ICE, ASA, Firepower, Security Bootcamp that we cover in the security domain. These are the lab topology that you will receive. This is for S4 paper. This is ICE, which I just demonstrated. Then you have ASA and the bootcamp and other things included. This is the outline, course outline. So basically, we'll be taking up the blueprint coverage. You can also get it from Cisco, but just to make it easier, we have added it here. So you can find the coverage perspective. Okay. And regarding the lab, you already know this lab would be something which you can access it from anywhere. It's a it's a browser-based lab. You don't need an application to be installed. So it's a browser-based lab. You must, if in case you're taking it in your personal laptop, then each lab, depending upon the module, can take 32, or in some case it can be 16 plus, or it can be 24 plus, because labs like ASA can be on a smaller side. But sometimes if the lab is like SCORE or ICE, then they need a bit more resource. Okay, and other day I was also showing how the bootcamp works. I think I should have something with me here. So for the CCI bootcamp, those who people are taking the bootcamp, we would be giving you ticket-based solution. Okay, I think I have the CCI security planner with me. Yeah, this is what it is. So you can see here, this is how the CCI bootcamp planner has been prepared. This is section called fault fixing. So I'll be injecting some fault. And let's say this is a week one, your first week of CCI bootcamp, and we are having to solve 5 to 6 tickets. Okay, they can be very small ticket size with 1 point weightage. These are the fault fixing. So you would be given a question if you go to question. So this is how the questions would look like, that you're a security team, and some people are reporting of SSH failure from this machine to this machine, right? So you will be having some pre-configured configurations already, which I'm going to give you in the base config format. So either this will be already put up and given you in a ready-made format, or you can just copy paste and put it on those devices as shown in the question, and then do start your troubleshooting. So when you do the troubleshooting, you should know what are the basic things that you should be aware of. SSH, might be you can do ping, you can do SSH, you can do the trace route, right? So all the test is given in order to make it more engaging. So you can attempt SSH, you can check the ASA interface if the interface is down, right? So this is how the troubleshooting ticket is prepared. And if in case you're not able to find the answer, then I'll also next week followed, I'll also give the answer for that, and that would be something to show you the answers and how to fix the problem. See, something like this. I'll be discussing this, and so I'll not encourage you to directly start with the boot camp. First, you start with S4 or ISE or ASA FTD. Once you're done with all this module, then only go with the boot camp, because boot camp will be something like on a more hands-on lab. This is not the place where I'll be taking much of theory and telling you about what is SSH or what is telnet, etc., because that will be all covered in sport. All right. So that is what is my planner for the CCI security 6 month coverage. So if you need one single module, feel free to take that, and it's your choice. If you take the complete package, then that's a much more advisable, because you get a lot of portfolios from security side. Okay, I'll wrap up my session. If you have any technical question, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll hand over it to Sajid, who is a student relation manager, and he will give you all the information about the course and the timing and the pricing, discount, and if there is any freebie giveaway. So he will explain all the things. So do I have any question?
Yeah, Sagar,
Yeah, go ahead.
uh, the Cisco is what we are discussed right now. So whether this Cisco is will be held between router and firewall or before the router?
This is not between router or firewall. It is separately on a one side, and your all firewall routers, which is WLC, will be on the other side. So basically,
Yep.
every devices, as soon as get some network administrator trying to get connected, behind the scene, those network devices are going to send these AAA packets to the ICE server, and ICE server will see whether that is a legitimate user and send back to the network device saying yes or no, and then the connection will open between the network device and the user. So this is
So as
not between router and firewalls. It is separately on a, what do you say, in a parallel way.
I understood, all devices are connected to this Cisco is
Yes,
from client side and the both and server sides. What all devices are there connected to IS, right?
yes. See, something like this. So you
Yeah.
are having the distribution switch. From the distribution switch, you are connected to ICE, and rest all your network devices will be kept in a different zones or different. Things. So if there is any user who is trying to get connected on the device, those network devices are going to send a AAA packet to these, and then they will check internally if you're making use of ICE local database. Otherwise, it will send another packet to the AD server to see whether that user is created here. Then they will inform this network device, yes, the user is legitimate. You can allow his SSH request.
So as you say, it also contains a table kind of, right? It will also start creating table like how routing table will create. Kind of it will also do, or how dice.
This is not going to have any routing table.
No, I mean to
Rather it
source and
will have the
destination where we have to reach, because every time it cannot reach to AD server, no. So if the new user will come, then only it will reach to AD server. If it's a existing customer and all the trying who's trying to the particular source or destination, so it will redirectly direct to the user, right?
no, it depends. You remember one step where we did the integration.
Yeah.
So in that step, what will happen? This AD server will get mapped to the database of ICE.
All
So
right. Yep.
next time, whenever the user is coming, and if the ICE server is already integrated and it shows you in the operational green color tick mark, then that packet will go to Cisco this AD server. Yeah, there is
Mm.
can be chances that on a transit, if the packet is not good, I mean the path is not good, then
Mm.
what will happen? Then it will not be able to uh, talk to the AD server. So it will only check its local database and can tell that user not found. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what we have to do in that case, as a network security administrator, I have to come to the Cisco ISE portfolio and check if my reachability to the servers are there or not. To
Reaching or not, we have to check in logs.
Yes, we have to check in the logs, or we can also have an option to sync them to make sure that
We'll
the
understood that.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sagar. I understood. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I see some people joined just now. Might be they got a late reminder. But anyway, the recording will be put up on our YouTube channel. Might be today or tomorrow, and we will share you the recording as well. So I believe it was an informative session. So I'll be passing on to Sajid now. Sajid, are you in the call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I'm making you the host. You can start your presentation.
Okay, sure. Hello everyone. Myself Sajid. I'm student relationship manager and the counselor. So I'm here to give you all the details related to the course, enrollment, access detail, what all benefits you'll be getting, like what will be the course track and time schedule. So regarding price, so everything will be going to give you the details here in my presentation. So let me start with my first slide. So you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes. Yes. We can see, Sajid.
Thank you. Thank you for. Okay. As you can see here on the screen, so I have mentioned here course syllabus and class schedule details. So basically, this will be a CCI Security version 6.1 track. Okay, 6.1 course it is. Okay, so here we are starting with the Cisco ISE module. Okay, the first, and then we'll be having the SVPN, then we'll be having the ASA FTD, then we'll be having the SCORE module, then we'll be having ESA, WSA, Umbrella, and your CCI Security Boot Camp. So as our trainer Sagar sir has mentioned, he is going to take the CCI boot camp at the next evening time on the weekends. So I have mentioned here the details as well. So as of now, we are starting the Cisco ISE at the 5 p.m. Okay. So this will be the course module, and the what all course topics and everything will be going to cover. I have just mentioned main topics here. Okay, so in details you'll be getting in the landing page and in sessions. So you'll be getting more details towards it. Okay, so here as you can see, which we are starting the Cisco ISE module. So its schedule is this will be a weekend batch, Saturday and Sunday, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. IST. Okay, overall course duration will be 2 months for this standalone module. Okay, and one more, our CCA batch is starting on the weekends itself, like Saturday and Sunday. It's a 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. IST. The duration will come up for 6 months. Okay, so those who are interested for the total CCI track, you guys can join the CCI track, and those who are looking for standalone modules like SVPN, Score, Cisco ISE, or ASAFTD, or just on the boot camp, CCI security boot camp. So whichever you are willing to go for, you can go for it. You can take the standalone module. Okay, and this will be schedules. The both will be the weekend batch itself. One will be 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and another will be from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Okay. On the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, this ICE duration will be the 2 months, and the CCI security duration will be the 6 months. Okay. So let me move towards my next slide. So as you guys can see here, so I have mentioned the details for what all access you'll be getting. Like once you are going to enroll for this course, so what all course access and materials you'll be getting here. So firstly, let me tell you about, like, you'll be getting the lifetime recording access of your sessions. So on the web portal on our LMS, that you can access it like whenever you want. So like, let's say if you are practicing for any interviews or any preparations, or you're executing something by checking the class recordings. So you can go through the recordings that will remain with you for lifetime accessible on our LMS on the web portal. And the recordings will be available on the LMS after the completion of the class in meantime of 1 to 2 hours. Okay, after that, whenever you want, you can go through the recordings. And if in case if you missed out any classes, you can go through the recordings and you can catch up for next class. Okay, and if you have any doubt, you can clear out there in your next class. So Trainer Sagar sir will be clearing your all doubts and everything, so you can sync up with the regular classes. So secondly, we'll be providing you the remote lab access that can be accessible 24/7 unlimited. Whenever you want, you guys can access your labs, okay, which are hosted on our servers and cloud servers. So for Cisco ISE, you'll be getting 3 months of remote lab access that you can access it totally remotely, 24/7 unlimited. Whenever you want, you can access the labs, which are present on our servers and cloud servers. And for CCI security, you'll be getting the 1 year of remote lab access. That also you can access it totally remotely itself, 24/7 unlimited. Whenever which are your good time, regular time, available time, you can have a practice, and you can practice it well. Okay, and then second thing, like third thing, we'll be providing you the dedicated materials like workbooks, PPTs, PDFs, step-by-step lab manuals, all the reading materials as you seen in the session. So we'll be providing you all that workbook materials, so you can download it from the G drive, so that workbook material will also downloadable, and the G drive access remains with you for lifetime. If in case if you missed out any material, you can re-download it once again using the G drive links. Okay, and we'll be providing you the home lab setup as well. Let's say if you have the good configuration of your system, or else if you have your own personal servers, so that you are practicing your labs and all there. So we'll be helping you to set up a lab there as well. It may be on your laptop or it may be on your server. So You just need to download the files which will be given from our side using like from G Drive. You can download it, and you can just raise a ticket on our support here. One of our team member will connect with you, and they will do the setup by taking the remote sharing screen. Okay, and that also accessible 24/7 unlimited, and that will remain with you for lifetime accessible till when you are having that access on the system. Till that you can access it, and we'll be providing you the 24/7 backend support. Let's say if you are facing any issues, any queries regarding to the course, or regarding to the lab, or regarding to the certain topics, anything like you are having any problem with your production things, you are not able to get the things clearly. So in that case, you can just raise a ticket. It may be related to anything. You can just raise a ticket, and one of our team member will check with it, and he will redirect it to the exact person who can look into it, and you'll be getting the resolution back with the reply by mail. Okay, and these all access and benefits you'll be getting. Okay,